Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel Unfolding the Basics with Sahil. Let me start this video by asking you guys a question. Have you guys ever tried to make a video of a special event using your phone only to realize later on that the video turned out to be a very shaky footage and it ruined your mood? I know that happens really often, but there is a solution to that. And that solution is called a smartphone gimbal. Now, some of you may ask, what is a smartphone gimbal? Well, it's a device that will help you shoot videos using your phone, but those videos will look a lot more smooth, fluid, and it'll also give them a bit of a professional look by minimizing all those shaky movements. And if you are a content creator or a mobile filmmaker, a smartphone gimbal is a must for you. Now, with so many smartphone gimbals available in the market, it could be really confusing to pick what's right for you. So today, we are going to do unboxing and a quick comparison of the three most popular smartphone gimbals available in the market right now: the DJI Osmo Mobile 4, the Zhiyun Smooth 4, and the Zhiyun Smooth Q2. In this video, I'm going to talk about the ease of use, the portability, the feature set, and the price of all these three smartphone gimbals so that you guys can decide what's best suited for you. Now, before we move to the unboxing of these products, I wanted to say, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me tremendously. Now, at the start of this video, I told you guys that you can use this smartphone gimbal to shoot videos with your phone and can have videos which are very smooth and have minimal shaky movements. Now, how exactly any smartphone gimbal does that? So basically, it is a mixture of two things: the hardware and the software. Let's talk about the hardware first. So every smartphone gimbal will have three axes. The first you see here. So the device can actually move around on this axis, and you can see that your phone, your smartphone, will also move along with that. So this is the first axis. Over here is the second axis. You see the smartphone can also move along with this axis. And the third is the axis over here, and even this can move. So when you operate your phone, your smartphone, using a gimbal, it can basically do the movements of your camera on your phone using these three axes and a combination of that. Now, the second thing, which is the software, is the smartphone app that every gimbal company has. So basically, the stabilized movement using these three axes on the hardware and the computational work that happens on the app, it basically combines to give you a video which is really smooth, fluid, and also gives a bit of a professional look and gives you the best result. Now, the first mode that you can choose to shoot videos on a smartphone gimbal is what you call is a pan follow. Now, when I choose this mode on this gimbal, what will happen is if I actually move around my gimbal, it will follow the pan movement. So basically you can see that the phone also follows the pan movement, but it will not follow the tilt movement. So it's a pan follow mode. It follows my pan movement, but it does not tilt the phone when I tilt the gimbal. So this is the first mode. Now the second mode is what we call is a lock mode. When I choose this lock mode, what will happen is it will basically lock the position of the smartphone. So I can pan or I can tilt. So basically I can move around the gimbal in any direction, but the smartphone, it will keep focusing in the same direction and the same angle. So you can move around, but the gimbal will keep on shooting in the same angle and direction. The third one is what we call is a follow mode. Now what happens in this follow mode is the device, it will follow the pan movement and it will follow the tilt movement as well. So basically wherever I move the gimbal, the phone's camera will keep on following the same direction. Now some smartphone gimbals, they come with another shooting mode, which can give you a very dramatic video shoot. Zhiyun, they call it the roll mode. Some smartphone gimbals, they call it the inception mode. And I think the DJI, they call it the vortex mode. Now what happens in this mode? If I choose this mode on this gimbal, I can actually point my gimbal in a horizontal direction and use the joystick to basically move the smartphone and its camera in an infinite roll mode. Do you see this? So basically you can use this mode to create dramatic and more cinematic videos. And this is a really cool feature. Now, why would you want to choose one of these gimbals over the other two? It all depends on what kind of user you are. The first gimbal is the Zhiyun Smooth 4. Now this gimbal was launched by Zhiyun in 2018, I believe. And my recommendation is that this should be bought by the users who are looking to shoot some professional videos. So you can see that this gimbal has a lot more control versus the other two gimbals that we took a look at today. Now all these controls, you can use this to change video settings, to choose different shooting modes, and a lot of other cool features as well. So you can see that this gimbal, you can use this control knob, this rotary knob, to do zoom in, zoom out, to do focus in, focus out, which is a really cool feature. But I believe there is definitely a couple of downsides to this particular gimbal. And I think the first one is very obvious, which is the size of this gimbal. It is definitely the biggest of the three that we have today. So the portability that hampers, you cannot really, put this in your pocket and move around. You have to have the gimbal case to move this around. And I believe you'll only take this gimbal out if you're really knowing that you're going to go out to shoot a particular project. So the portability is not really great for this gimbal. The second thing I would say, which is a downside for this gimbal, is that it is a bit complex to use. A lot of controls, there is no joystick in this one. So it'll actually take a lot of time for you to basically be perfect at actually moving around this gimbal, using the different shooting modes. So it is definitely a bit of a learning curve for you. Another positive about Smooth 4 is that it is compatible with the professional filmmaking app, which is the Filmic Pro. So that's another positive for this one. The next one we have here is the Zhiyun Smooth Q2. This gimbal was launched by Zhiyun in 2019. And I believe this is the best gimbal for any beginners, and it is definitely the best value for money. Now, the first thing that I really love about this gimbal is the size. So you can see it is very small, and it is definitely a lot more portable. You can put this into your pocket, put it into your small bag, and travel around with this gimbal with a lot of ease. Another thing that I like about this gimbal is that this gimbal is one of the very, very few gimbals in the market which has a removable battery. So in case your battery dies, you can go just buy a new battery and still use your gimbal. Whereas the other ones, which is the Smooth 4 and the DJI OM4, in case the battery dies, it is not replaceable. So I believe the gimbal would just become a junk for you. Another thing about this gimbal that makes this the perfect gimbal for the beginners is that this gimbal, it comes with a joystick. So it is a lot more easier to control the movement of the smartphone, be it pan or be it tilt. It's really easy. Now the Smooth Q2, it comes with its own set of negatives. The first one, it definitely misses out on some of the features that the other two gimbals have. The first one, for example, is there is no zoom in, zoom out feature. The second one obviously is that you don't have the focus in, focus out feature. Another missing point of this gimbal is that it is not compatible with the Filmic Pro app. So now we come to the DJI Osmo Mobile 4. And I really believe that this particular gimbal is one of the best overall gimbals that you can get in the market right now. It definitely has best of both the worlds. It has some of the best features that you can get from the Smooth 4 and some of the best features that you have in the Smooth Q2. The first one, it comes with a joystick. So it's really easy to use the joystick and control the movements of the phone. The first benefit. The second one, it also comes with a zoom in, zoom out feature. This is compatible with the Filmic Pro app as well. So if you're a professional, you can still go ahead and use this particular gimbal and shoot some really nice videos. Another positive of this gimbal is that it is small in size, and you can actually fold this to make it even smaller. So it's really portable. You can easily put it in your pocket and move around with this. So that's a positive. And not just the size, I think the handle of it is the most ergonomic of all the three gimbals that we saw today. It's really easy to hold in the hand and actually move around. So that's another thumbs up. So there you go. That's my take on these smartphone gimbals. The Zhiyun Smooth 4, the best for professionals. The Zhiyun Smooth Q2, the best for beginners. And the DJI Osmo Mobile 4, the best overall gimbal in the market right now. So pick one for you and start shooting.